She used to be an actress.
She ever do anything I would have saw?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know the shows on TV.
Yeah, I don't watch TV.
Yes, but you are aware that there are an invention called television, and on that invention they show shows.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick shows on TV is they make one show, and that show's called a pilot. And they show that one show to the people who pick shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they're going to make more shows. Some get accepted and become television programs, and some don't, and they become nothing. She started in one that became nothing. You know, when you hear it like subliminally, you kind of like don't even have to read it, because it's like subliminally. I've heard it for.
It's in us. It's inside of us.
How'd I do though? Like taking control.
I'm not kidding. Towards the end, I was thinking he's really reading very well. Yes. Welcome to Couch Pilots. All of you are my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television, pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is my $1 million man. It's Captain Philip Ressler.
I'm your Ted DiBiase.
Yeah. You're my Ted DiBiase. I met him once. Did I ever tell you about that?
No.
So, in a few months from now, I'm going to be having a video game convention. My brother puts it on every year.
Sure.
And I'm kind of helping him with it, with the little bit that I can. I'm going to assist him with it. But he's having it at the Interstate Center. I think that's what it's called. It's on the west side of Bloomington.
West side.
And there, I had met Ted DiBiase probably 10 years ago, and he was there. And this is one of those things where you can like pay $10 and get a picture with him. I had him sign something, and he was there with like a belt. I don't know if it was the $1 million belt. I'm sure it wasn't. It was cool to see Ted DiBiase though in person.
Sure.
He was nice enough. Not nearly as cool as when you and I met Hacksaw Jim Duggan, though. That guy was righteous.
That was just recently, like on my time hop. Like it happened not too long ago, a couple years ago.
December of 2018.
Yeah,
that dude was rad.
He was loving it. He's
good
like,
dude.
I know this is my life, and I'm going to enjoy it.
Accept it. Know that people out there remember your name and your face and what you've done, and that they appreciate you.
Right.
If you can accept that, even though you've been painted into this weird corner, but there are people that appreciate you. Embrace it.
Yeah, and everybody was like excited to see him. You know, like nobody was like talking shit to him or anything. Everybody was like, "Yeah."
Well, I know that this is.
We was a group of like 7 of us, right? And we were like, we had a mega milk boner standing in line.
Oh, so I have that picture. I love that photo. He signed a picture of me, like a little 3x5 photo that I've had since the 80s. Because I met him when I was like, I bet I was 6 or 7, and I met him then and got a picture taken with me. So he signed that photo of me from the 80s.
And to him that was probably cool.
Well, I ever tell you what he said to me?
Huh?
I said, "Hey, Hacksaw, Mr. Duggan, sir." I said, "This is a picture of you and me from like 1988." And what he said to me is like, "I'm glad we're both still here."
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And he said, Hogan and Flair call me Kid. They still call me Kid.
Oh, wow.
And he said, I'm glad they're still here, and I'm glad you and I are still here.
Nice.
I was like, that's God damn it. That's fucking nice. That's fucking nice. But he embraces it, I think. I think he embraces that people. And something that I don't know if this person embraced or not. And by the time this episode is released, it'll be old news. But we're talking about it before we started recording today. And that's that a fella younger than you, which we're at the age now where people start dying that are our age. It's like, oh, that's fucking crazy.
Right.
But Dustindiamond, who played Screech on Saved by the Bell,
right?
He just died today as we record this, to let you know when we're recording. And my mom called me, and she's like, I just heard Screech died. My mom never calls me about celebrity deaths. I think she thinks that I have like this bigger like attachment or love for Saved by the Bell than I do. I totally watched it when I was young. I totally did. And I assume that that'd be like me calling my daughter in 15 years and say, oh my God, I'm so Selena Gomez, I heard just died. I know you watched The Wizards of Waverly Place when you were little.
Right.
But I feel like you were too old for Saved by the Bell.
I was too old. I've seen episodes, but
you and I are just far enough an age to where I was about the right age. Maybe I was even a year or two younger.
Right.
But you were just maybe a year or two older than people who watch Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
What was your equivalent of that?
Oh, Dance Party USA.
I know we talked we had a hip hop version of that on this show that we did years ago, right?
Yeah, no, Dance Party. That was my. I was in 6th grade. My girlfriend watched it, and we lived in different areas of the town, and we'd get home and we'd call each other on the phone. That's back when you used to have to sit next to the phone because the cord was only like 3 or 4 feet long.
And they didn't have podcasts back then that would draft off of that kind of content. You had to call your friend or your girlfriend.
And it was, there was no YouTube or you couldn't watch reruns. It was like each day was,
you saw it when it came out and you talked about it that day.
Yeah. And they there was kids that were on there that, teenagers that were on there that were, dating or you were hoping they would date, they danced together. It was a dance show, but they gave you that personal part of it, like you got to know, you got to know some of the regulars. There was always fillers. There was always
extras, folks.
Yeah. But it was solely about dancing, and like in between songs, they like talk to the main people, and then they start getting together and stuff. And,
now we haven't talked about this for a while, but I never watched any of those shows religiously. I remember there was like Club MTV.
Sure.
And I didn't really watch it. I didn't really care about that. I wasn't really aware of Dance Party USA, but I knew there was Soul Train. And I knew it was like American Bandstand with Dick Clark.
And they had a handful, each of them had a handful of regulars.
Okay, see, I never knew that about those shows until you started talking about that. I just felt like it was a host dressed well, who was cool, and who would maybe talk to a musical artist and then just play music while like attractive young people danced.
Yeah.
I thought that was the show. No. I had no idea that there was like maybe scripted or semi-scripted things with people, and there was actual like kind of loose storylines with regulars on the show. I had no idea that existed.
And I don't think that it was scripted stuff. I think it was just like, okay, here are the 10 or 15 most attractive people that are, we'll have them back.
Let's stick a microphone in front of their face and see what happens.
And they dance good.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? In between songs, we'll start talking to them. And
so you think those were real life dramas with young kids dancing?
Sure, I bet somebody was putting a finger in somebody's butt to tell them to do this or
right.
that. But
I hear that.
It wasn't scripted. You know what I mean? But I'm sure there was like edging, like, hey, you should dance more with this person. And
yeah. Roberta's looking really good in her dress today, don't you think? Her bobby socks are banging.
Ooh.
Yeah, I never really had a show like that. But the only real like young teen drama, I got a little bit into 90210 when it first started airing. But I did what? I was a regular Saturday morning viewer on NBC of Saved by the Bell. So we were in a text chain, and I know you're having some problems with your phone, but Kevin Clark had sent out something saying, "Hey, R.I.P. Screech," and out of context, that sounds like a crazy text for someone who doesn't know Saved by the Bell. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Right.
My response was, what?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, what? So I immediately Googled it. And of course, there it is. Dustin Diamond, dead at the age of 44. He had lung cancer or something?
Yeah. He only found out about like 3 weeks ago or something like that.
What a bummer. Like, I think he had become a kind of a joke and a scumbag, But like, he was a fun, young, talented, nerdy kid.
Yeah.
He was perfect for that role as Screech. And he played that role probably between 9 and 12 years between the different incarnations and reboots of the show. And I think he just kind of fell on weird, hard times. Was a young child actor who, when you're young and you are making money and like you have a job as an 8-year-old, 10-year-old, that's fucked up. That'll mess you up.
Yeah, and then again, you're going to have people's finger in your butt telling you what to do.
You keep going back to that butt well. My 6th grade geometry teacher was named Mr. Butwell. I don't know if you knew that.
Hey, good teacher.
Great teacher. But that was kind of a sad thing to hear that he had died. But
it does feel weird. Like I've noticed in the last few years, like, oh, I used to love baseball. I collected baseball cards. I watched baseball all the time. I played baseball. Like, oh, I'm gonna be so and so. We're gonna play wiffle ball in the backyard. I'm gonna be so and so.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Sammy Sosa.
Right.
I'm who's that guy? Ozzie Smith. I'm Ozzie Smith.
Yeah.
Watch me do a backflip.
And now you're like, they're like announce, oh, so and so died. And you're like, huh? Wait, hold on. And you're like doing the math in your head. You're like,
wasn't he just 24 hitting a home run?
Right.
Holy shit!
What the fuck? And then you're like,
yeah.
Like you said, people that you watched on TV or in movies, and you're just like, oh, this is not good. This is A, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
And B, I'm getting closer in line.
When I was young, I'd always hear about kids even younger than me watching like horror movies, and I thought, my God, I'm scared of horror movies. I'm 10 years old. I've never seen Nightmare on Elm Street. There's a kid down the street who's 7. Her parents let her watch them. My parents would never let me watch that. And then sometimes I'd have a TV in my room, and sometimes the day of the month, Friday the 13th, would show up. So they have like a marathon of the Friday the 13th films, like on USA Network. And so you turn on channel 39 locally, which is USA, and then you'd see all the edited for TV versions of those. And all I could think of, every time they cut away before someone was murdered, but you know that they died, in my young mind, I was always like, that kid was 16 or 17.
Right.
I'm 12.
I'm 12.
I'm safe.
I'm gonna get slashed here pretty soon.
Well, I was like, I've got time. I'm safe from being
There's so
killed.
many things I want to do with my life before I get slashed by Michael Myers.
But I always felt like I was
want to
safe.
have a lemonade stand.
Yeah.
I want to get that Nintendo.
I want to get that bicycle route for the newspaper.
I want to touch a girl's bra.
Oh, hell yeah.
You remember the first time you touched a girl's bra, like underneath?
Sure. Yeah.
It was you felt like a fucking pimp after that, didn't you?
I felt pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think my point was that I always felt like I was safe in terms of how old I was. But then you start hearing about people that you grew up with, or even I know there's a few people that I graduated high school with that are dead.
Yeah.
It's just a weird slap in the face of morality.
Sure.
Or not morality, but mortality, I should say. Very bizarre. So R.I.P. Dustin Diamond. You shall be missed. Anyway, so that's what's going on with me. What do you got going on?
Just working and paying bills and trying to get by.
Is your gambling a problem?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm like, I'm not gonna. This week I'm not gonna even put a 10 cents in that thing.
You're a man of vices and addictions.
Yes, that's.
What have you ever taken one of your addictions? And I know that you identify them and know that you should do something about them and have tried to make changes. But have you ever identified one and say, I need to get rid of it, but then I need to replace it with something positive?
We've talked about this a couple weeks ago. We talked about this, and I think if you have something that you are obsessed about or addicted to, no matter how positive it is, it will become a negative in your life.
Everything in moderation.
I love painting. I'm going to spend all my time painting. I'm going to spend hundreds of dollars on material so I can paint.
It comes down to moderation then.
Yeah,
right?
and I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. And you probably say, your next question is, well, where does that come from?
Where does it come from?
It comes from a fear of failure, in my opinion.
You're just trying to overdo everything.
I'm trying to overdo everything, so I can't say, "Oh, I'm not good at this." You know what I mean? Like I'm doing it all the time.
Who's going to say that you're a failure? You?
Yes.
But what does that matter? Like
I'm the only person that matters, Jason.
Okay.
In my head.
So you're in the weird Venn diagram of severe narcissist and then completely.
No, I don't think
failure?
I'm a narcissist. Because
Okay.
to me, if you define a narcissist, that's somebody who thinks they're better than other people.
Lex Luger.
Right? You think you're better. If you're a narcissist, you think you're better than other people.
And that things revolve around you.
Yes,
and you're
I don't
most
think
important.
that at all.
Okay.
I'm just very aware that, like, for me, other people's opinion of me, really positive opinions of me, don't register. You know
Only
what I mean?
negativity.
Only negativity from other people. And then in my own mind, it's all negativity. So, that's where that comes from, I think.
That's something.
I don't know.
That's something. Yeah. All right. There you go. Hey, will you come to the video game convention or not?
If it's not on a Saturday.
It is on a Saturday.
Only on a Saturday?
Yeah.
And what month is it in?
I think it's April 17th, like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, well, if it's in April, then I can ask for that day off.
What time do you usually work?
I work 10:30 in the morning till
10:30.
10:30 in the morning till 11:30 to 12:30 at night.
Damn. What's the average age of the people in there?
Average age?
Like 55?
I'd say 50. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Never mind. No further questions. Yeah, I'm excited to do the video game conference with my brother.
I know your brother has worked really hard in the past to build to what it is, for sure.
Yes, he's worked very hard on it. Well, I would like to have him on the show before that comes out so we can talk a little bit about it. He works very hard. He's got a very entrepreneurial mind, my brother.
I've noticed that. Unlike you.
Very much unlike me at all. I'm a mind where it's like...
You have the same dad.
I'm nap-centric.
You're all focused on taking a nap?
When can I get 40 winks in is usually my mindset.
Are you into power napping?
That
was a legitimate question.
Okay,
but after I said it,
you looked away ashamed.
No, it wasn't ashamed. It was more like, no. There's people like take power naps, like they can fall asleep for like 45 minutes and wake up and they're rejuvenated and stuff. That's kind of what I mean.
I think I need to get into that more.
Like it's more of a meditation than a sleep, right?
I fell asleep on the couch before I came here for like, I think about 25 minutes. I took a nap.
And you felt better?
I did feel better. I was so tired, and I just like I can't. I got to sleep. I set my alarm, and then I got up, brushed my teeth, and I came right over.
I'm a horrible sleeper. I have a lot of problems sleeping for many reasons: physical reasons, mental reasons, and a 120-pound dog that says, "Oh, you need to move." But
there's a way you could just put the dog in another room.
No, I just can't.
Well, I
could.
You can,
right? But I also Molly says my snoring is not healthy. There's like a stopping of breathing and stuff.
Oh, sure.
And then also when I get into bed, like when Molly goes into bed, she's like, "Okay, I'm going to sleep." I'm like, "All right." So we lay down, and I'm talking like blah blah blah. I look over and she's out. Like as soon as her head hits the pillow, her brain has programmed itself to stop.
Yeah.
Whereas when I lay down, my brain probably works harder and is more active than during the day.
Well, while the complete opposite is true when you wake up, you don't want any talking, but your wife likes to talk. So,
right.
Last week we were talking to Tim about how he is, what do you say, sleep divorced?
Or bedroom divorced? Or
something divorced, where him and his wife have different...
bed divorced.
Would you do that?
I think it would be a really good idea.
Yeah, I mean, when you call it like bedroom divorce or sleep divorce or whatever the fuck he said, it has negative connotations. The word divorced, it means a separation legally of two people who were engaged in a marriage agreement before. But like, I think that's a negative way to put it because I think there are some big positives that could come out of you sleeping in a different room if it meant both parties getting a better night's sleep.
Right. And I think that has been discussed before even.
And why have you not gone further with that?
I think it's the logistics of it.
How so?
Well, now that Garrett's room it's not, there's no bed in it anymore, and it's a craft room. It was a twin mattress and blah blah blah, but there's nowhere else to put a bed.
The craft room is your bedroom, and then the craft room comes down to the basement. That's it. I solved it. It's really simple. It's not difficult at all.
All right.
You want to be on the main floor so it's not too cold.
Call Molly.
Okay.
Call Molly up and
is she awake?
Yeah, she's awake. She stays up later than I do.
Will she answer the phone if I call her?
Well, if the phone's by her, she will. She likes you. It's me she doesn't like.
She likes me still?
Yeah.
I feel like she doesn't like me anymore.
No, she adores you.
Okay. Let's see if she answers.
She feels that I'm safe when I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. You are.
And she was worried about my safety.
Hello.
Hey, it's Jason. I'm in your basement. I love you.
I love you too. How's the basement?
It's fine. It's funny you brought up the basement. Blake and I were talking. I wanted to run something by you real quick.
Well, give her the pretext about Tim.
Okay, yeah, I was going to.
Okay.
So we had Tim. He just left. Did you see Tim?
Briefly, yeah.
He has an avocado hat.
I heard about the avocado hat.
So Tim was telling us that him and his wife, and I don't remember the phrase exactly. It's really bothering me. I can't remember the phrase.
I think it's bed divorced.
Okay, he said that they're bed divorced
for multiple years.
Where they sleep, like he's married to a lady and they sleep in different bedrooms. You ever hear her tell of that?
I've never heard of it. Wait, I've heard of that. I mean, my grandparents slept in separate bedrooms for many years.
What do you think about that?
I understand it.
Do you want to engage in that with with Blake?
Well, Blake and I have discussed it, to be honest. I mean,
That's what the show has really turned away from failed pilots into an honesty podcast. So your honesty is we expect you to be honest going forward. But what came of those conversations?
well, I mean, nothing really, because we still, obviously, the only other bed we had that wasn't currently being used is no longer here. So,
But that's stupid though, right? Like that's
What?
that's a dumb thing to say because you can always buy another bed. Like just because
Well,
a
you
bed
asked
left
what-
doesn't mean there aren't more beds.
you asked what came of the conversation.
Get a-
so
get a-
I was getting to that.
Get a fucking bed in here.
Then where?
Okay, so your craft room goes to the basement, and then the the vacant bedroom becomes Blake's room.
All right, if he wants his own bed, I don't think it's not really a bedroom. That I think we need. We do need an extra bed,
Bunk beds.
or like a sofa couch, maybe like a pull-out that becomes a bed.
Well, would you sleep on a pull-out couch?
Yeah,
You would. Okay.
I mean not every day for the rest of my life, no. But when one of us is sick, or you know.
Would you do queen size bunk beds?
No,
I can build it.
Blake said he would build it easily.
no.
Well, here's the thing. When I'm in the bed with a lady, I will.
Very rarely.
It's very rare. No, when I'm in bed with a lady, like if I touch the lady while I'm sleeping, if I happen to roll over and touch her, I wake up instantly, and it fucks my night's sleep. And then, I fart a lot, and that's embarrassing. So I feel like own your own space and your own bed would be beneficial to getting a quality night's sleep. Do you disagree?
I don't.
Who do you think?
As I'm getting older, I would agree with that. Yes,
Who do you think it would help more? Do you think it would help you more or me more?
I think it would help me more.
Really?
Me more.
It's all about me more for her.
That's what I called my maternal grandmother until she passed. Was me more.
Me more.
But yeah, you should think about it. Blake told me to call you. He had no strong opinions
to be
one way or
honest,
the
I
other.
think Blake needs to go have a sleep study done, and I think what do you call those things?
Darth Vader.
The Darth Vader things would help Blake a lot more. It's just that we have two different body temperatures, and so
Ooh.
if he's comfortable, it means I'm sweating my ass off. If I'm comfortable, it means he is freezing his ass off.
Well, you guys need 2 separate beds in the same room, or more realistically, 2 separate bedrooms.
Can we do that? I mean, is that an option to get two full size beds in our bedroom?
I don't think so. I don't want to not sleep with you because see,
Hell
they
yeah.
also have the other issue where if I never sleep unless, I mean, if I'm really, really tired, sure, but I don't know that I would be able to be like, oh, okay, well, good night, honey, and then you go to your other bedroom. I'm not sure I would be able, that would help me sleep. I'm just saying that sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night sweating my ass off, it would be nice to be able to turn the fan on without,
Ooh, burr.
yeah.
What if you
without
had-
listening to you bitch and moan that you're freezing your ass off?
What if you stay in the main bedroom, the master bedroom? I don't even know can you use the term master anymore? I don't think you can. And then and Blake had the other bedroom, but you want to be near him. But what if you had like a baby monitor looking at it?
Oh, a baby monitor would work, yeah.
So she can hear me snore.
Blake, take your headphones off for a second.
Okay.
Blake's kind of like a big fucking baby anyway, right? So it'd be like it would work, right?
It would. It would be like just, yeah.
So
Definitely.
you could still keep an eye on him, feel like he's close to you, and have a baby monitor, and he's like a dumb fucking baby. Right?
Oh, I could even get one of those where I could see him.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you want the visual one where it
Oh,
looks like
yeah.
Paranormal Activity, and it's scary, and his eyes glow green. It's terrifying.
Yeah, maybe we'll skip the baby monitor.
Well, you got a birthday coming up. I'll get that for you for your birthday. All right, Blake, go ahead and put your headphones back on.
I think every once in a while I need to be breastfed.
No,
Every now and then what?
he wants you to breastfeed him.
Blake Clayton. For fuck's sake.
I don't like that kind of talk, Blake. I don't know why you do that.
Neither do I.
All right, we just want to get your opinion about. We were talking about Jesus.
There he goes. Hey, Jade.
Yeah.
While you were talking to him about changing and doing a bunch of different stuff, why don't you talk him into not smoking anymore?
I think what happens is he's going to pull a dustindiamond here soon and get lung cancer and die, and then I'm just going to move right into the house.
Oh.
So I'm going to take his spot, and then I think it'll be just a nice, easy transition for everyone.
Are we going to have separate bedrooms?
Oh, no, you and I are sleeping in the same bed. We can still get a baby monitor if you want, though.
Okay.
And we'll have it.
The Dustin-Diamond thing brings up a really good point, Blake Clayton.
Can we get the baby monitor laser etched in memoriam of Blake Clayton on there?
Ooh, well, yeah.
Can you ask her to pronounce my last name?
Her last name?
Yeah.
How do you say your last name?
Clayton.
God damn it.
All right, that's enough. Hey, you have a great night. Go ahead and start cleaning out your craft room, and we'll be up in a little bit to rearrange for Blake's bedroom.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks. Bye.
She didn't pronounce our last name right.
Jason,
what is my full name?
Blake Eloise Clayton.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What did Molly say her last name was?
Clayton?
Yes.
Claydin? Clayton?
Yes. It drives me nuts.
Come on, Clayton.
I think she did that as a bit.
Well,
Well, thank you for that.
her and I are going to be sharing a bed soon, so.
Thank God.
A couple weeks ago, I was sleeping with you, and now I'm just fucking my way through the whole Clayton clan.
You want to hear about Bossy's sex? You just wait a couple more months.
That's fine. I need someone to really put me in my place.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain.
Ooh, here she is.
Fasten seatbelt sign.
I need someone to really let me have it.
Well, and it's not even like a sexy, like, hey, you little shithead, fuck me. It's more like, hey, hurry up and get off me.
Yeah, that's great. That's fine. I need somebody to tell me that. I have long been the dominant one. I need someone to really pack me down into a pack it in. Let me begin.
Check with the record. Let's begin. Party on, party people. Let me hear some noise. DC's in the house. Jump, jump for joy. There's a party over here. Party over there. There's a party going everywhere.
Today we discuss the pilot episode of the $10,000 Sweep from the year of our Lord 1900 plus 72. Now that was a great year.
72 was a great year. I was -3.
I was -9.
I think my mom was probably in 8th grade.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And 72, I think
Columbus sailed the ocean, right?
I think the Lakers won the championship.
Oh,
that year,
it's in the middle of their dynasty.
Yeah.
Huh? The original Laker dynasty.
And of course,
What? Bill Walton?
no. Hey, everybody. No, I got a text message from my wife. Hold on.
Just tell her you're not dead yet. I can't move in until, we'll say 3 weeks after you're in the ground. You want to do that thing where we bury you with like a seed in you and you become a tree, right?
No, I don't want to be buried. I want to be cremated.
What if we stuff you like a pet?
Yeah.
And you can always sit in your studio till the end of days.
No, this is my punishment to everyone.
This is your punishment to everyone.
I want to be cremated.
Yeah.
And then I have paperwork.
Right.
And there's designated percentages of me and my ashes that go to certain people.
Okay.
So now that's my punishment, is that certain people are going to be responsible for having my ashes.
You know what's great is that, like, in your mind, you think...
In my mind.
You're like, oh, this is the punishment. I'll be dead. I have no cares in the world, and I'll still be burdening people. But the thing is, like, when you die, no one's stopping us from, like, just chucking you in a fucking ravine.
Well, I would hope that your morals and values and would be like, oh, I just can't.
I apply my morals and values elsewhere.
All right, so let's say you got 25% of my ashes.
Okay.
Are you telling me that you would just throw them out?
No.
If you were allotted 25% of my ashes next year when I die,
Yeah.
what would you do? Would you keep it on a mantle? B, discard it in the garbage, or C, sprinkle it somewhere of importance or not important.
I might mix it in with my rich chocolatey Ovaltine and consume.
That wasn't. There's only 3 options.
I have to choose one of those.
Yes,
I have other I have other things in mind, but okay. So, what's that?
All right, give me 2 of your other things.
Okay, rich chocolate Ovaltine.
Okay.
But it's not just the chocolate; it's the chocolate malt Ovaltine.
Sure, right.
That's the one I like. Or I could have you like all of your dust and your ashes condensed and pressured into a stone.
Okay.
And then I would have that put into the end of like a butt plug.
Okay. Now one of
you know how sometimes butt plugs have a jewel on the end? That would be you.
Okay. I'm like, this is the best view I've ever had. Okay, of the other 3, A, B, and C, which one would you do? You're not going to hurt my feelings. Remember, this is your punishment. So.
I think I would take you to like a Hank Williams memorial site and scatter you there.
Okay. You drive all the way there?
Sure, I would. Yeah, I would. And
Thank you.
or I would have your ashes pressed, and I heard you can do this, pressed into a Hank Williams vinyl.
Oh.
So where you would be one with Hank's music for eternity, or until someone broke it, and then it would just be
Or
discarded.
it was in a garage and warped it.
Yeah, stored improperly and got all weird. Yeah, you get that weird musty smell vinyl has. Yeah.
You give it to my child, and they're like, I don't
Fucking
need
want this. No, this is literally your. I'm telling you, I don't want it.
Right.
Okay, fine.
I hated my dad.
Oh boy, let's go back to 1972. In our minds. And we're going to do that so we can properly digest and understand the pilot episode of the $10,000 sweep within the time frame that it was actually created.
Right, because we can't look at the $10,000 sweep based on today's standards. Today, just game show wise, I'm just focused on game show wise.
Let's talk about game shows. That's what this season of Couch Pilots is. Game shows. 10 episodes.
We don't have Survivor.
No.
All right, in 72. You don't have Survivor, right?
No.
You don't have The Bachelor, The Bachelorette.
No.
You know what? You don't have Wheel of Fortune.
No. Well, no, you don't.
No. And you don't have Band-Aids.
No, that's definitely true.
So, I mean, are you going to look at a game show from 1972 the same way you look at a game show for today?
No, you're not.
Yeah, so that's why I had to go back there.
Whoops. Let's talk about some things from that year. March 3rd.
Ooh, close to my birthday.
That's right. Oh, wait, I have one for your birthday.
Oh.
Thick as a Brick by Jethro Tull is released, a concept album supposedly written by an 8-year-old boy, Gerald Bostock.
Oh.
You like Jethro Tull?
No.
They were, doesn't he play the flute? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
It's
he
kind
plays
of,
the flute, and he's, for our generation, he's synonymously known for winning the first ever like heavy metal like Grammy over Metallica.
It was almost like
A slap in the face.
a Grammy, or it was Grammy, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like a Grammy category created for Metallica, and then Jethro Tull came in and was like, "What about this flute I got?"
This flute is heavy
It's
metal.
fine. I'm sure they're talented. I don't know much about their music though.
Who's they?
I'm sure
Jethro Tull is a person.
I don't think so. I thought it was a band like Steely Dan, which is a dildo, right? Should we look it up real quick?
Yeah, I think Jethro Tull is the name of the person. He did.
Okay, so, but it's my understanding that Jethro Tull, like Leonard Skinner, is not a guy, right? Jethro Tull, British rock band. Jethro Tull are a British rock band formed in Blackpool, Lancashire. Good lord.
Well, just put who members
All right,
of
members. Members: Ian Anderson, David Goodyear, John O'Hara, Scott Hammond, and Joe Parrish.
Oh, okay. You know what? I stand corrected. I apologize.
No problem. Hey, you know what? I forgive
sorry.
you. I love you, and I honor you.
Sorry. Ooh.
March 15th, your birthday. The Godfather has its premiere at the Lowe's State Theater in New York City.
I didn't know that. The original Godfather?
Get a rope. That's right.
Wow.
Written by Mario Puzo, directed by Francis Ford.
Francis Coppola.
Right, Martin Scorsese.
Starring my favorite actor of all time,
Yep.
Al Pacino.
And who else is in it?
Marlon Brando,
Yep.
Antonio Scarpacci.
That's right. Faye Yetton.
Faye. No, I loved that one. That was a good one.
Because you like there's so many famous movies out there, cultural touchstones, references that people make, and for a large part, you don't know any of those.
No.
But you do love...
But I've seen like Frankie and Johnny starring Al Pacino.
I was going to say, but you do love Al Pacino movies, so you had to have seen The Godfather.
Yeah, I used to have them. I used to have all three of them. Another great Al Pacino movie is Heat.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's with De Niro, right?
Right. And then what's the one where he's the...
Cruisin'.
That's
your favorite
That's
one.
my favorite.
For reasons that escape me.
And also, a really, really good one is to watch Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah. That seems like a cool movie.
That is a cool movie, and Dog Day Afternoon for sure.
Is that a Scorsese film, Dog Day Afternoon?
I don't know for sure.
You know, I recently watched a Scorsese film, The Departed. You ever watch that fucking shit?
No.
It's good.
Is it?
Name an actor.
Jack Wagner.
He's in it.
Jack Wagner is?
Yeah. Name someone else.
Lyle Lovett.
He's in it.
Wow.
Everyone is in this. It's crazy. The cast is insane. And a lot of times that spells poop, but not this time. The Departed is very good.
Is it a Western? Or a Mafia?
It's a modern day Boston Mafia movie.
Okay.
But it was like, I think it came out like 2008. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on Netflix. It's very good. It's got Jack Nicholson, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg, Martin Sheen, Alec Baldwin, Vera Farmiga. Oh, God, she's a beautiful woman. You know Vera Farmiga?
Yeah.
Oh, she's...
I saw her.
Yeah, she's a good-looking lady.
But definitely check out Cruisin'. If you're into Al Pacino, check out Cruisin'. If you're into New York City underground black leather gay bars, check it out as well.
Sure. I fit both those categories.
What was the movie that he was in with Jonathan Goodman? They were cops in New York City. Oh, it had the girl with the blonde hair.
Jonathan Goodman. No one ever calls him Jonathan Goodman. John Goodman, right? From Roseanne, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a respectful. Go ahead.
Respect first, right?
Yeah.
Then teamwork. March 25th, Opry Toy, sung by Vicky Leandros, wins the Eurovision Song Contest 1972 for Luxembourg.
I don't remember that song.
But you've heard of Eurovision, right?
It sounds familiar, but
there's a film that came out last year. It starred Will Ferrell and some lady. I can't remember her name.
oh yeah, they're from Iceland.
Yeah, something like
and they go
that.
in that contest. Oh yeah.
Apparently, that is a huge contest that's been happening at least since 1972. And I remember, Kevin Clark became fascinated with one of the songs that had won.
Okay.
But that's an interesting thing. That's like across Europe, there's this entire continent has a competition for like music. Isn't that wild?
It is crazy.
I think Casey, not
Sunshine Band.
No, it's
Casey Kasem.
Who sings "I'm Walking on Sunshine"?
Walking on sunshine. Whoa.
I can't. I think they won once. Anyway.
I'm glad you remember my birthday. It's coming up.
I'll never forget.
Are we doing something for my birthday?
If you want to. It's 2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you? Do you want to go out and do something? Do you want to go somewhere?
Yeah.
Are bars open? Can we do that?
Yeah. I want to. You know what I want to do?
What's that?
I want me and my boys
Yeah, let's do it.
to go have
Yeah.
a steak dinner. You know, like where we do it ourselves.
Alexander Steakhouse.
Yeah, and we just sit around, drink some beers. We don't have to go to any bars. We just go and
Have some crazy strong Long Island iced teas at the bar at Alexander's.
yeah. But I mean, I want us all to be standing around flipping our
with
meat.
our dicks up, kicking that raw beef.
Everything's a joke to you. I told you what I wanted. Gotta make a fucking joke out of it. Now we're all gonna be hanging out in the parking lot of Taco John's, and I fucking hate Taco John's.
They have a new enchilada sausalada. You gotta try that.
Great, I'm there.
It's very good.
Tomorrow.
Why did we choose to watch $10,000 Sweep?
There's 3 simple criteria, 4 for this season. 1, it was a pilot that never went to series. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant. Number 2, we had to find it on the internet. Awesome! Which means, number 3, it was free. Woo! And number 4, which is a caveat for season 28, it was a game show!
Welcome.
Very good. So you're probably asking yourself, where can I find the entire episode of the $10,000 Sweep? Well, you can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice. And then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, Blake.
You know what to do, Tube. That time it was too much of a pause.
What's that?
Your pause that time was too much.
Pause. Press pause. Press pause.
The precipice of pause.
Into the skies. Summary of the pilot. Woo! A primitive version of the $10,000 pyramid. The host asks a question, and if the correct answer is given, it will lead his or her teammate to identify to the identity of a related. I screwed that up last week when I said it too. To the identity of a related person, place, or thing. If a team makes a sweep by winning 4 games in a row, they win $10,000.
10 G's, baby.
What do you think about that?
It's probably an A. I mean, based off of the fact that it's a game show and the description of the summary, I'll give it an A.
Wordy but accurate.
Wordy but accurate.
An A.
Kind of like my second wife.
Hey.
She didn't complain about that finger in her butt that one time.
Oh yeah. Interesting facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interesting Facts. This is the part of the show that Jason has scoured the internet with rubber gloves to find facts about this pilot that you may not have known. Please don't taint someone else's experience by commenting on them. Keep your comments to yourself unless you're talking to a four-legged friend. Jason, please proceed. The floor is yours. I concede my time to the state representative from Illinois.
Thank you, counsel, for not filibustering. Interesting facts. In 1972, $10,000 in daytime TV was a lot of money since no show was offering it. To stand out, the 5-digit barrier would probably have to be broken, and surprisingly, it was producer Bob Stewart who was going to break this barrier with the $10,000 sweep fact.
It's crazy to think that 1972 for game shows $10,000 wasn't an amount.
It was a large amount. Yeah, a lot of times.
I mean, it was not an amount offered up to this point.
Right. I remember early aughts. It'd be like 2000, 2001, and Regis Philbin would come on. This is before he died, of course. And it would say, "You can be a millionaire. Who wants to be one?" And that was a huge deal. You could win $1 million on a TV show. And this is a big deal just 30 years before that, winning $10,000.
Right. That's a big difference.
Hosted again. Well, not again, but last week we had Jack Clark as the roving reporter who was the man on the street. But now this week, the $10,000 sweep was hosted by Jack Clark. Fact.
Yeah. Ooh, you all right?
Don Pardo was the announcer of this program. You may know him from his many years on Saturday
Night Live.
Yep. He was also featured in an episode of 30 Rock, The Simpsons, and, of course, the music video for I Lost on Jeopardy. You know that song?
Yep. I lost on Jeopardy, baby.
So Don Pardo literally hosted, or was the announcer for Saturday Night Live from day one until I think his death in 2015, 16.
Okay, can I take a famous person, give it to you, and will you do your Pardo imitation? Introducing.
I'll try. Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I hope it's Nassim Pedrad.
Emilio Estevez is hosting Saturday Night Live, and go.
And your host, Emilio Estevez.
Pretty good.
You want to try one? Can I give you one?
Yeah.
Okay, so Don Pardo, host of Saturday Night Live, he would announce, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome hosted Catherine Zeta-Jones. Okay, you want to do one more?
Is Don Pardo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hosting Saturday Night Live, Elvis Presley.
Oh, wow, he never did it. But
I
can
know.
you imagine what that would be like?
Yeah.
Ah, man. Okay. And your host, Elvis Aaron Presley.
That was good. See, this is the part of the evening where I don't miss the group text chain, because it is at 37 texts that I haven't seen.
Oh, do we have
And
a lot of
it's
texts? That we're
vibrating
missing?
like nobody's business.
Well, that's probably because you got a bad phone. During the episode, Jack Clark attempted to coin a catchphrase by saying, "You must be first and you must be right," every time the question finisher was wrong. Have you ever tried to coin a phrase yourself?
Ooh dogger.
Ooh, dogger. And,
Yeah.
what would the context be in which you would use
It's
that
like,
phrase?
oh, look at that. Ooh dogger.
So
Like,
it'd be like a kind of a, ooh, cool, positive thing.
yeah. But I remember saying ooh dogger a lot.
Ooh, dogger. Okay.
Yeah.
Any chance we can bring that back?
Sure.
Say it again. Like, give me your
Yeah.
best. Like, what you would want it to sound like each time. And did you create that phrase?
I don't remember hearing it before or after it, but I'm not going to take credit for it. But
Okay.
oh man, did you see that Al Pacino movie the other night? Ooh dogger.
Oh, okay. All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. I've never known anyone who really like coined a phrase, but that's really I like
I remember. I right now I want to A, call my mom and B, call Josh Inglehop, because we used to say it, but I think neither one of them will remember it. But
That's good. I coined a phrase a while back. Did you ever know that? I coined a couple. I did. You know what to do to.
sure.
And what's that one where it's one stop shop? I created that phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one you're most proud of is
Okay. The one I'm most proud of is one. It's in very specific context usually, and I'll let you decide what the context is after I say the phrase. Okay. Fine. I don't love you anymore. Do you remember that one?
you know what? That's probably my favorite one that you've ever coined yourself. That's
Yeah,
good.
I've said that to a lot of people.
With that much energy. Have you ever like said
It comes out in the heat of a moment.
try to? I want you to try to, like, let's say you're out.
Fine, I don't love you anymore, Emilio Estevez.
No, I'm saying you're in a public restaurant.
Right.
It's a very busy Friday night.
Sure.
You obviously need to tell this person across from you that you don't love them anymore. How would you do it in that setting?
Ooh, like I said, usually that comes up in it does happen a lot in restaurants, but it is usually like a impassioned kind of yell.
Like you've been holding it back for a long time.
Right.
It's like a wave. It's like a wave that's building. And
A tidal wave of emotion. Yeah. So, okay, if I was in a restaurant, I didn't like want to cause a scene or
Sure.
something.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Say,
There's a fragile girl that you were talking to, possibly like emotionally fragile, which you like, obviously.
right. Okay. So let's just, okay. I'm trying to get in the mindset. Like, I feel like, okay,
You're at Texas Roadhouse.
my favorite restaurant. God, you know me so well. I feel like I'd have to be getting worked up. I'd have to be a little upset, but I know at the end of the day, I don't want to be screaming in a Texas Roadhouse, but I am getting worked up. So it'd be like, fine. I don't even love you anymore. It's fine. Okay.
I like how you said, fine, I don't even love you anymore.
Yeah. So
Whereas before,
that's
it's like, I don't love you anymore. You're like, I don't even love you. Like, it's actually more insulting when you're calm.
yeah. Well, maybe so, but I mean that's a phrase that I coined,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
it's one of the many.
It's a phrase that pays. It's paid off well for you.
It's really paid off for me. $10,000 sweep did not air when it was originally made, but again has appeared on the Game Show Network, and again is on that kind of weird underground trading circuit of people who really apparently have a love of game shows.
We need to find like how to get a hold of like somebody in this group, like a leader of it.
Someone who's got these old Betamax and VHS tapes in their basement.
They probably updated.
I would hope so. I would hope Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. Twitter. Oh, nope. Stop the press. Stop the press. Hand me that cord right there because I almost forgot. We haven't done fan feedback in a long time.
Did you pause this here?
Yep.
Okay.
It is muted, so please throw that over here to me.
Okay.
We have somebody who has submitted a Twitter responses theme song.
What? I don't know anything about this.
I know you don't.
Why is
Not
that?
everything's about you, Jason.
No, but I run the Twitter essentially.
Huh?
This is on Twitter?
No, it's a theme for Twitter responses.
But you sing the theme to Twitter responses.
But somebody has done it possibly better.
Wow. Okay, that's a big compliment coming from the man who usually sings it.
Because I coined the phrase.
That is one of your coined phrases.
This is a new phone. Bear with me.
Yeah, it's not an Apple phone. And usually I would say, all phones are roughly created equal, but you said you've had so many problems with that phone. Fuck Samsung, man.
Here we go.
Okay, Blake, hear me out here. Twitter responses. I hope Jason's got some Twitter responses.
That sounded so. Let's hear it one more time.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Can you guess who it is?
It's not David Lytle, right? Is it?
Okay, Blake, hear me out here. Twitter responses. I hope Jason's got some Twitter responses.
Yes, David Lytle. He says, was happy to hear your voice again this week, and I had to put down some guitar to a classic Blake take.
Is there any chance that you can make that a file in here and we can use that week after week?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Hope you're doing well, buddy. I also... Oh, that's different. That's something else.
We really have missed 33 messages on the group text.
I know. It's you know what, guys? This is what I don't miss.
Hey, go ahead
Here.
and...
Here it comes. Ready?
Yeah,
watch,
yeah.
watch it. Watch this. Classic move right there.
Let's go ahead and make that the official
Yeah.
Twitter song going forward. And
It was great.
Oh,
It was in key. They had background vocals.
David Lyle's a talented guy. He recently sent me some scripts for some comics that he had written.
Oh.
And I read through those. And he sent me some drawings that he had done too. It's something that he's working on. It's pretty it's super un-PC.
Sure.
But in that, it's pretty funny. He's done some pretty good stuff.
He's not working, huh?
I don't know if he's working or not.
I'm just saying, it seems like he has a lot of free time.
And I think these are old things that he had worked on, but
nice.
he wants to get back into it. But he's a very funny guy, very talented fella, and that it proves it right there with that great Twitter response.
I didn't mean to throw you off. I just thought I just happened to remember.
No, I'm
it.
glad. I'm glad that you thought of it now instead of when the show was ending. Where are we? I don't even know where we are.
Twitter responses, which was the whole point.
Let's put 10 minutes on the clock. There's no Twitter responses. Everyone's dead. 10 minutes on the clock. Let's discuss the pilot episode of the $10,000 sweep. I'm going to go ahead and start us off real quick.
Sure.
If you don't mind. Starts with that famous, lovable Don Pardo voice announcing shows a $10,000 check and then pans over to the contestants, which are a couple of fellas named Coleman and Tom, I believe. They're in the Peace Corps and spent time in West Africa.
Yeah, that was yeah. And so Jack Clark comes out. He's the host. What I found interesting was there was no we didn't see like an intro like theme song or anything.
Right. It just kind of got into it.
Yeah, and
It started with Don Pardo's voice in the check.
Right.
It just got right into it.
and there was usually there's like some kind of theme music at least
Something.
and we find out that Coleman and John have already won the first round for $2,000.
Now, is that something that was maybe cut from what we saw?
It had to have been.
But why would they make the announcement of the check after that first round, though?
Well, I think it was a time constraint thing because you have to go through 4 rounds to get to the $10,000 sweep. It's your first episode. You want to get to the $10,000 sweep. You don't have time to do all 4 rounds.
Okay.
So,
We can break that down later, how we think the show
Sure.
would have gone.
All right, so
forward and
round
stuff.
1 is worth $2,000. You win that, you go to round 2, it's $4,000.
Well, no. Every round is worth $2,000. But once they won the second round, that means they would have won a total of 4.
Well, that's what I was.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. And then in round 3, ends up being, they went up to $6,000.
But you're right. They had already won one round that
yeah,
we didn't
I thought
see
that,
or something.
I thought that was kind of weird at first.
But then they bring out their opponents, another couple of people. It's Cindy and Susan, a couple of airline stewardesses.
And I right there, I was like, oh, we're pilots. I mean, we've seen beautiful women like this all the time. The brown haired girl was better looking than the dark haired girl.
Damn it! Oh wait, so you like the lighter color?
Yeah, the one that was with the button.
Perfect, because I like the darker hair.
Okay, great.
The only bad thing about the darker haired one is that she has a big mouth. And that doesn't you don't want a girl with big mouth or big hands because that dwarfs the size of your member.
Makes sense.
But still, I did find the dark haired one more attractive.
Okay,
so that's perfect.
Oh, nice.
See, she can't be more than 70, 75 now, right? So that's perfect.
Right. I just heard on Twitter that she died.
Tom and Cindy are the ones that will see the answers, and then Coleman and Susan must respond. So can you explain real quick how the questions are presented and kind of the series of steps that need to take place for an answer to be given?
Sure. So there is a person on the team that is looking into a monitor, and Jack Clark asks a question. They have to buzz in, and they have to give a clue that is correct to their partner to help them guess the actual answer.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the problem of the game too, right there. And when, again, we'll get into more of that, but you do have to ring in, and then 2 things have to go correctly for you to get the points. And the points are based on, how did this start? I think, so you got Jack Clark up there at like a little podium asking the questions, and right below him is a little number. I think it starts out, the first question is worth 5 points, and then the next
9
question
points?
is, I thought it was like 6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
I thought it kept going in succession.
I don't think it was complete succession.
Okay.
It's not succession.
It's my C-section.
C-section.
It's my C-section.
See? If we named the episodes, it would be my C-section.
So the points, every question, the points keep increasing in value.
Yeah, you're trying to get to 100.
Yes.
That's how you went around. But also, in that, you can get if you answer a question and get the bonus number, there's 3 bonus numbers, then you get to have
like a free question. Your way. But the bonus numbers, it's like target numbers. I think what it is you have to answer questions that add points up to a certain number.
Yes.
And so each round, every time that there's 2 groups of people going against each other, in that round, there are specific target numbers. And if your team happens to hit one of those target numbers, then you get the bonus question given to you where you don't have to ring in. It's just a question for you to get possibly more points.
Right, and this is technically the second round.
Yes.
And it's the bonus numbers, I guess, are 20, 35, and 60.
Yep.
Okay? And I started to go through this and tried to get every answer and who got it right, and then I was like, obviously that's way too much.
I started doing the same, but then
you drop it.
This is us seeing it for the first time. We're not familiar with these shows because they're a one-off thing, so we don't know how they're going to play out. So the way we have to take notes on game shows is different because we don't know what's really important. So we're trying to do it all at once, but then finally we see what the rhythm of the show is, and we can make notes appropriately.
Right, and this is technically the second round, and already the button doesn't work. Like he pushes the button, like vigorously, and it does not work.
Yeah. And
Jack, he was pretty smooth about it. Like, I mean, he was pretty on top of it. He dealt with it for sure. But the guys, Coleman and John, the gay lovers that are in the Marine Corps or the Peace Corps, they win the second round. They win the $4,000.
Well, can I give you an example?
I'm sorry.
Since I did make pretty extensive notes concerning the questions up front.
Oh, I apologize.
No, it's fine. I just have a couple of.
I'm sorry.
My apologies to you. I do have a couple examples of what that looked like. So you have both teams ready to ring in. Jack Clark, he said, "Who started this mess?" and then the two, one member from each team can see what the end goal is.
It says Chicago Fire on the screen.
Yes, the first one says the answer is the Chicago Fire. So he says who started this mess, and each of the people have to ring in if they know the answer. And what they would say was like, Miss Hannigan's cow, because the Chicago Fire famously, apparently, a cow had kicked over a lantern and started a series of fires that burned a lot of the town down.
Sure.
So it would be up to one of the team members to say, this person's cow, and then their team member would have to say, oh, the Chicago Fire.
Right.
And that's how the questions would go. Jack would say something, someone would ring in, give a bit of a clue.
They had to be correct.
But that's part of the problem. We'll get into that. So there's a lot of things like, how did he kill his victims? He painted them. It was Goldfinger. What's it worth? It's a bird in the something. One of the guys answered 2 in the mouth, which is like 2 in the hand is worth 1 in the bush. 2 in the mouth. I thought that was
Coleman,
funny.
my boy.
That was your boy. But you're right. They did beat Cindy and Sue,
Which they came from behind to win.
Which happened, I think, a couple times.
Yeah,
And so they get consolation prizes on their way out, and then we go to a commercial. And now Coleman and Tom, it is Tom, right?
John or Tom, yeah.
They go on to hopefully win the next round, which they would get an extra $2,000, taking them to $6,000.
Right, and their opponents are a man and woman who are a couple.
Yeah,
and they've left the corporate world to become artists.
Yeah, and then he's like, "How's it go? How's the art world going?" He's like, "It's not very good."
Yeah, that's why we're on a game show trying to win money.
Yeah.
And the one thing that stood out to me in this segment with this round was that the woman was the one that was giving the clues, obviously.
Yes.
She did not show any excitement. She seemed very timid, which made me think that she was probably, the two of them were probably a member of Marilyn Manson's cult or some kind of cult, because she had her head down. She showed no joy, no expression of anything.
Right. She had been properly groomed.
Yes.
By Brian Warner.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we get some more special numbers. They give out more
21,
questions,
36, 52.
Like Ben-Hur, $24, which apparently is how much Manhattan cost back in the day.
Yeah.
Someone purchased Manhattan. I could afford that. And then one of the answers was Fritz the Cat, and they said that was an X-rated film.
Yeah, and the artist guy got that for sure. He was.
I'll have to go back and Google that later.
Yeah, that was weird. That was one of the weirdest questions of all of them.
It really was. And then Knock Knock, the Hindenburg disaster. There's a few things that I didn't understand. Like, I knew Casey at the Bat, but like I didn't know Otto Prettinger. Like, he was a famous like film director or something. I don't know.
He was bald. Yeah,
maybe. But the guys go on to win that one.
They pull that one out as well. They get to go to a commercial break, and now we're in Game 4. This is for the $10,000.
It's every round that you win $2,000, and if you win 4 in a row, you get the bonus 2 at the end, which equates to that $10,000 sweep.
And Coleman and Tom are the gay Peace Corps volunteers from West Africa. They are going to go up against a teacher and his friend's fiance.
How weird is it? I think it was
Janice.
I think it was Bo and Jackie. I thought maybe it was.
Oh
Janice.
yeah, it was Jackie. You're right, Jackie.
And
but
I think was Jackie wearing bobby socks?
I did not see.
Okay.
I was at work while I was watching this and working.
Listening.
No, I was watching.
Oh, you watching?
Yeah.
But that was weird, right? Like,
it was weird, and Jack Clark even points out that like this is your best friend's fiance, and he's like, "Well, I knew her before they got together. They're getting married, so I'm trying to win some money."
They're fucking, right?
She doesn't look old enough to fuck, to be honest with you.
She comes off as really dumb, but
very dumb.
Well, she comes back later and hits a few home runs.
The target numbers for the fourth round are 28, 45, and 55.
They keep announcing these target numbers, and at this point in the show, right?
They have not had any effect whatsoever.
I said, have these even come into play at all?
Not yet.
And they have not. Anyway, so you got some more things like Cleopatra. Then you got a tie on the buzzer, and so he threw out the question,
which was the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do, but I think another like nod to there's some actual like technical glitches in this show
with this button.
So some more answers like Barbra Streisand and her very large nose, which is interesting. Italy, the one where it's like she seemed like a real dope was when these like spell what's evil backwards, and it's like it took her like 3 beats longer than it should have.
Right. Well, and to be honest with you, like I think both teams had a problem with this one, not just one. I think that both teams had a problem with this one, and I thought of all the things that have been asked of you, during this whole show,
spelling a 4-letter word backwards
is. Well, it wasn't so much the person answering the question.
Yeah.
It was the person giving the clues, too. Bo had some problems with it as well.
But she redeems herself with a couple
and
questions.
And a button issue again here.
Okay. Yeah, definitely a couple of those. And there's answers like a baseball umpire, Jimmy Hoffa. And then there was one where it was like, the answer was exclamation mark, but he couldn't say how it's used, which all I could think of was like...
a stick with a dot?
Yeah, like a vertical line with a dot at the or a period. I don't know.
And this is what finally the bonus number, the target number, comes into play.
Yeah,
finally,
yeah, for sure. So that helps them out, I think. You got other answers like Bangladesh and Liberace. One of the guys, Tom, I think it was Tom. He looked like Jason Schwartzman. You know who that guy is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well. Anyway, he looked a modern day Jewish fella. I think, oddly enough, related to Francis Ford Coppola, from Godfather fame. Anyway, more answers is like astronauts, and then the one that that Coleman and Tom like secure their win on was that like a Chinese fella, Chow Un La. Like I had no idea who that was.
Yeah, that one I didn't know at all.
But they won. They got the sweep.
They won the $10,000. We go to a commercial break. They come back, and Coleman and his lover are in the middle of the stage with Jack Clark. He signs the check personally to their names and hands it over to him. A very awkward transition because you have 2 people in one check.
This whole ending sequence is just the 3 of them standing on the stage, all dressed nicely, in suits, all different bold colored suits, but they all look nice. But the whole ending of the show is just him saying, "Hey, you won! Congratulations! Here's a check. Now the world will watch me like fill out the check." Like, why are we watching a man fill out a check?
And Coleman twice makes they're like, "Well, what are you going to do with the money?" He's like, "Well, get out of here before the IRS comes."
He does say that twice.
They don't come. The IRS does not come to you.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was boring. The end was very boring. And then they talk at the end. Jack talks like it's going to be a daily show. You know, like you'll probably see it during the daytime television right after Days of Our Lives or something. But that's it. That's the whole plot.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
oh, do we get it plugged in? Not all the way.
I do. It's all the way in.
Is it?
It's good. It's fine.
All right. Okay.
So that we ask at this part of the show, why didn't this pilot work? What would we do to improve it? Where would we like to see it go if it survived? Blake's going to get out his notes. I'll tell you why I don't think part of the reason it didn't work is there's a weird constant flow of contestants. Like each round, I don't know. It seems like it's a lot to have all these different people in on each show to me. That felt weird to me.
No. Like we've talked about before, if you're going to have a game show, you're going to film multiple episodes a day. Mm-hmm. You have these people in the green room, boom, boom, boom. Because they might stay there for 1 episode. They might stay there for 4 episodes.
Okay. Well, how about this? Instead of reaching, this is another problem I thought with the show. Instead of trying to reach like a fixed number of questions, or you should have a fixed number of questions rather than keep asking questions because sometimes they don't know it. Sometimes they have to keep going. The show can get too long.
Yes.
If you're feeling like this is a half-hour show or this is an hour show, you don't necessarily have to complete like Millionaire. We were talking about who wants to be a millionaire earlier. Sometimes that would leave in the middle of an episode because there's so much like drawing out of each question on Millionaire, really like asking questions, making people think.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, you could sit there for as long as you want, seemingly mulling it over, phoning a friend, whatever. So the show would end sometimes with join us tomorrow or we'll be back Wednesday night to pick up where we left off. This is a thing where you'd have to do something similar to that because I felt like it was like 28 minutes long, which is an odd amount of show. And again, maybe we missed that first segment, to where this would have extended, and with commercials it was an hour. I don't know, but it didn't. It seemed like the amount of time to complete an episode was indeterminate, and that you need to have more of a fix on that. You need a handle on the time. Yes, thank you. So I don't know. What did you think was wrong with the show?
Well,
you got a lot of notes there.
But none of my, I enjoyed this in the fact that there were questions. It was more of a game show-esque as opposed to what we watched so far in this season. But I do think there was it was just like last week. There were the rules. Actually, all 3 weeks now. Mm-hmm. The rules aren't clear. It's not decisive. You know what I mean?
There were a few times where it felt like the rules were not clear.
Right. It just felt like, okay, we said cut and we figured out what we're going to do, and then we started taping again. So, like the exclamation point was a perfect example. Like, why are you straying now from what you've been doing?
There was an extra little rule.
Yeah,
on
and
that
now
question.
saying, oh, you can't say, yeah. So that just seemed odd to me.
Yeah, the part two, we were hinting at it when we were talking about the plot, was there's kind of like 2 tiers to these questions. Jack says something. If you are familiar with that thing, you can add on to it by buzzing in and putting on a clue to hopefully get your partner to answer correctly.
But if you got your clue wrong,
but what determines whether your clue is wrong?
Jack.
But why is he like? I don't know why Jack is the deciding factor on that, and how he knows what is right and what is wrong in terms of the clue.
No.
If your clue's wrong, then your guy's going to get it wrong, and then I think you should just lose that question, and maybe the other team gets an opportunity.
Well, and on that one, if your team got it wrong, the other team
got a full clue.
Got a full clue, but a lot of times the full clue was like one word, if that, or it was so close to what the other person said. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the part that I didn't really understand, and kind of it falls in the category, like you're saying, of the rules not being super secure. Is that first clue that your teammate gives being declared wrong by the host? There's something weird in there that doesn't work right.
It's too murky.
Little murky. Little bit murky.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Final descent. Now we look at what other people have said about this show. There's nothing special about Blake's. Or some would argue there's something special about me, but everyone can see $10,000 sweep. All you got to go is look at his YouTube. And then people can comment in or rate on the show and then see what they have to say. But Rotten Tomatoes, you're not going to find $10,000 sweep there. You're not even going to find $10,000 sweep on IMDb. And that's odd. You think it would be there, but it's not. Instead, critic reviews, we're going to go back to the well we were at last week. And again, this is a site called usgameshows.net. And it's a site that really has a lot of information about game shows, including failed programs that had just one episode. And that website says several problems plague this pilot. Beyond the set being the most garish combination of orange, red, and yellow you can possibly imagine, Bob Stewart left in an equipment failure when the lockout device registered both players buzzing in. That's when both players answered at the same time and they threw out the question. Of course, Bob Stewart, as we mentioned earlier, was the producer of the program. Although that's part of the game, it's not a good idea to leave deficiencies in the pilots, especially when there's so much hinging on whether or not a show will go forward, to leave problems in the pilot episode. Finally, there was no bonus game, so the game had the monotony of Jeopardy without the excitement of Daily Doubles or Final Jeopardy, which is a kind of a trend. We've only done a handful of episodes this game show season, but already a trend that we're seeing is that the shows lack structure and we're not building towards an exciting finale.
Right. Yeah. There's no big finish.
Yeah, that was definitely a problem here. It's just a couple of guys standing on a stage filling out a check at the end. Nothing exciting about that at all.
Not at all.
Viewer reviews. Again, not a lot about this, so we're just looking at a few comments.
What time is it?
Time is it right now?
Yeah.
Like 10:20
10:20
p.m. What's wrong?
It just shuts off.
your phone is the equivalent of trash. Get an Apple phone.
Not getting an Apple phone.
Okay, well then live with your trash. I don't know what you want me to say. How's that beer? You like that? It's not bad. Viewer reviews. Amit Kumar just 2 months ago said, back when $10,000 was a huge amount. Sigh. Andrea Reyes says, you just won $10,000. Great comment. Thank you so much.
Great job, guys.
There's not a lot out there about this.
That's good.
There's a website that documents all these. But outside of that, not much. Not even on IMDb.
69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated.
Not even on IMDb.
Until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. Blip blop bloop bleep. Now we rate $10,000 sweep. Do you want to talk about the rating system?
The rating system is super simple.
System super simple.
It's based off of the television show Wings. It's a 1 through 7. 1 being the worst. That's a Roy Biggins. 7 being the best. That's a Brian Hackett. And there's a bunch of characters in between as well. And that's how we rate our pilots.
That's right. Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn to you. How do you rate the $10,000 sweep?
Never done this before.
Never done what?
What I'm about to do.
Hold on a second. I don't know, almost 280 episodes in, how you can, like, almost you specifically, continue to break new ground.
Yeah, well,
How do you do it, and what are you doing?
I'm giving this a bump that I've never gave before.
What?
This is getting a Coleman bump.
A Coleman bump?
You have to watch this. If you have to watch it twice, it's fine. But you have to watch Coleman the whole time.
He's the guy with the glasses and the wild hair, right?
Yes.
Yes.
His laugh, his reactions to everything.
I like Coleman.
Coleman was the best part of this show.
I do like Coleman,
I'm
too.
giving it a Coleman bump. I'm giving this show a 5. Coleman bump for sure. Seriously, watch this and just watch the guy on the far left of the damn screen.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I think you've inspired me to give it a Coleman bump. Too.
Hey!
We're gonna double. You know, I'm a fan of coolers and camping as much as the next guy, but this real life incarnation of Coleman is my favorite.
He was. Did you notice him?
Oh,
did
sure.
you notice
Yeah.
his mannerisms,
Yeah.
his
I like him.
mustache, his?
He was excited and happy to be there.
He was the only one that was excited to be there.
Jack Clark might have been a nice announcer. As a host, I thought he was kind of fine. Whatever. There's a lot of problems with this game. Like we were talking about, the host deciding whether or not the first clue given by the person who rung in, the actual technical difficulties with the buzzers, leaving that in. You could have edited that out. It doesn't need to be in there. The lack of structure and finality of the show. Oh, you won X and Y. Now you move on to Z. No, you don't. You just X, 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 end.
Right.
I give this a 3. Bump, bump, bump. Coleman bump. I give it a 4. And with that, I close. You and I both close the book on the $10,000 sweep, and we will never mention that show again.
Except we might mention Coleman again.
Coleman might come up.
Folks, seriously, watch this just to watch Coleman.
We should have little Couch Pilots Coleman enamel pins made.
Love it. Love it.
Join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of Cop Out. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. 8 celebrities get together for an informal game of whether they're telling the truth or whether they're copping out.
Ooh.
You can find the entire episode of Cop Out by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, and you know what to do too. Oh shit! We forgot to do this. The contact information up front.
First, yeah.
We're not doing it. We're not going to do it.
Okay. Just no way.
We said last week.
Yep,
That was going to
you're
be the
right.
last time we're going to do it at the end.
All right.
I have to change some stuff.
So
on the
you want
show.
me to go ahead to my segment then?
Yes, you have a segment at the end of the show that you like to do. It kind of changes from time to time, but you got a real interesting one, kind of related to game shows.
Sure, game shows. We're talking about gambling, and I'm giving each week I'm giving you a gambling tip. and it's solely slot machines. I do not talk table games.
Table games such as like what?
Blackjack,
craps, roulette, that kind of stuff.
5-card stud,
Texas Hold'em.
Hold'em.
Is it Texas Hold'em?
Yeah, it's Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
Roulette, all that stuff. I don't do that. This is strictly a machine play.
Okay.
Okay. When you're at a casino or a boat or a bar, do not sit on one machine and play it the whole time. Don't play one game on a machine. If you don't hit like 50 cents, 20 cents, if you don't hit that in $5, you move on to the next game.
Keep it moving.
Whether it's a different machine,
okay,
or it's because a lot of machines have numerous games.
I did not know that actually. Okay,
a lot of machines have numerous games in one machine.
So if you're not hitting, do you suggest staying at that one machine for a little longer and trying different games, or just moving to a different machine entirely?
You got to keep moving.
Physically moving your body.
Physically moving your body.
Okay.
I find this has been helpful to me a lot. It keeps you from just pushing the button hoping to get that jackpot or hoping to get that bonus on that one game, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to sit there, and they're going to tease you, and they're going to be like, oh, you're like, oh, it's going to hit. It's going to hit. The bonus is going to hit. It's not. $5, if you don't win 50 cents, 20 cents here, 30 cents here, if you go like through $5 without getting anything, get the fuck out. Cash it out. Move your fucking body. It helps with multiple reasons. You're not going to make that hit if you're sitting there and it's not going to hit. You're not going to make it hit by putting more money into it. It's predetermined. It's not going to hit just because you're sitting there. 2, your money lasts longer because you're walking around looking for that other machine to play. Okay? Remember last week I said about the left pocket, right pocket, right?
Yes.
You have to put all these together. Week number 1, if you can't pay your mortgage, don't go gamble, right? So
yeah,
I'm putting all these together.
So basically, at the end of this season, you have 10 separate gambling tips that will make you an unstoppable juggernaut at these gaming machines.
Exactly.
Okay.
But keep moving. If you win a $30 or $40 bonus on a machine, you're like, oh, it's going to keep paying out. No, it's not. You win that bonus, click that collect button, put that ticket in your right pocket.
Right pocket, yes.
Get that left pocket, get that 20 out, and go find a new machine, because it's not going to keep hitting you bonuses. It's not going to keep giving you more money. You get what you get out.
Okay. Wise words from a learned man.
Thank you.
Boy, I tell you what, I'm so glad to have this time with you. I know we went a little late this evening, but
I love spending time with you as well. I don't know what time it is because my phone has completely went black again.
You say no to the iPhone. What is your plan then? What are you going to do?
Well, I asked the guy I bought it from,
right, Scott,
and I asked his boss why it keeps shutting down.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, try to turn this off." So I turned this part off.
Yeah.
And it did it again. Look.
I'm sorry.
Nothing.
I know it's
not the battery. Just so you don't.
It's unfortunate.
Just so you don't ask. Oh, is it the battery? No, it's not.
Oh, is that how I sound?
Yeah, a lot of times you sound like this.
Is that how I sound?
A lot of times you sound like this.
Say Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez.
We'll see you next time.
Good night, fuckers.